You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Here we're going to take a close look at the Ampown, if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's a PlayStation 5 version controller with a game stick, also known as Model U9. So this is one of those weird devices that they're ripping something off. There is also something they need to rip off, and this time it's going to be the PlayStation 5 controller. In the end, there is always something they need to rip off, and the controller quality is absolutely nothing like the original system. So also when it comes to the gameplay and the menu, yeah, that is where we're going to get a hit or miss. This particular game stick comes with their own custom menu, and I can tell you it's not always that great. So first of all, we're going to get ourselves a tiny preview where they're showcasing what kind of game it actually is. But there is no movie, it just shows one single picture. Overall, we're going to get ourselves the list, history, collection, search and category. And this is something we have seen many times before, but also it showcases with a tiny icon what kind of category you actually like having a certain game from. So when you're looking at the way how it works kind of slow. You can see there's a small delay when pressing a button, and this has nothing to do with the connection. This is just how the actual menu works, and also comes with a horrible search function. You can see when I'm pressing it, it will take a couple of seconds to load, and I can tell you it's very annoying if you need to press a button, wait a couple of seconds, and then we're having, of course, the search results. And yep, this is absolutely way too small when it comes to the tiny box where the text will be located. It's all so messy, and we're actually going to be trying to search something. It's just not feeling it, you know, it's not going to be having a nice flow. Then we have the category, and here we can find quite some interesting different categories. Think about PlayStation 1, Portable, N64, and there are some new kind of emulators on here. You cannot change anything out, so if something doesn't work, you're just stuck with it. You just need to deal with it, and that's what I hate about these game sticks. Overall, the menu, yeah, it works, but it is not the way how you want to experience something like this. We have some options in the settings. For example, screen scaling is an option, so we can put it in 60:9 or 4:3, change out the key sounds, stuff like that, but it is very limited. So if you're having problems, you cannot do anything over here. So with this particular cheap game stick, we do have new additions like PC Engine, and it's very cool to see some, let's say, obscured systems that we normally don't see on the cheap game boxes. What I'm mostly going to get is the 8-bit and 60-bit era, but just the typical Famicom part. PlayStation Portable, later on I'll do a quick overview of some gameplay, but this is just the same, let's say, nonsense, because PlayStation Portable is way too advanced when it comes to the emulator, where we do have the maximum capacity to run PlayStation 1 without any problem. I think it's very cool to see that we do have some N64, some launch titles that are playable, but N64 is going to be absolutely a hit or miss. So if you want to have the full experience, you just need to have a game stick or a mini PC with more power. But where this thing really shines, and it comes with most of these cheap game sticks, is also when it comes to Game Boy. I think it's very cool to revisit them, but unfortunate when it comes to the aspect ratio, we have some options there. Quite a long time ago I picked this particular product up, and the reason why is just I wanted to see what I actually going to get, because man, sometimes we do find some pretty cool products, or it's going to be one huge shenanigans. And that is the thing that I will love to make these reviews and check out the overall quality. So first of all, this is the Game Stick edition. We also have PlayStation 5 mini and micro consoles, but this Game Stick, also known like the Ampown, or I have no idea how to pronounce it, to be honest. At the back we're going to get one USB port, the micro USB for powering on, and then we're going to get one single dongle, and this is going to be connecting both controllers. And in here we're just going to get the HDMI, actually I think it's the extension cord, because this freaking stick is so thick you cannot plug it in some of the HDMI ports. Not really convenient, and just a quite nice quality micro USB cable for powering on. Sometimes you need to use a 5-volt normal adapter, by the way. Oh, hey, we also go to get ourselves the toilet paper manual. Yep, in here we're going to get ourselves the general information. They did put some effort in it, showcasing how actually everything works when it comes to the search results. Move to PlayStation 1. I guess this will run okay on these like plug and play devices. Let's see which button I need to use. They did configure the analog stick and the D-pad. So when it comes to PlayStation 1, take consideration, I could not like test the Bloody Roar 2 game. That's more like the benchmark for PlayStation 1 in general. But in general, overall, like when Ridge Racer runs fine, yeah, you will get a good performance on this. So it is possible to play some PlayStation 1 on this plug and play device. Crap. Couldn't find my freaking brake button. Okay, so I'm pressing the mode. You can see the back end that runs something like Retro Arch. And then we do have like the option to make a quick load, quick save. We have disk control. The controls can be set up. And of course, we can quit the game. But the first thing I already noticed, what I told you, like, we don't have a stretched image because we do have an aspect ratio. You know, that is like a great case that you want to add something that you already know that is not going to work. It even shows like the frame skipping stuff. So when you're pressing the mode, we're going to get into the menu. You can make a quick load, quick save over here. But you can already see like it's already set to frame skipping 1. In the end, like absolutely PlayStation Portable, it's garbage. It doesn't run well on this. But this is not the way how you want to play it. And N64 always be a freaking problem when it comes to these cheap plug and play or game boxes. But you get the point. It's horrible. Alright, so next up let's try a Neo Geo. It's not like a really demanding emulator, and most of the time it runs normally okay, but then it's the question like how good did they configure it. So next up let's try some Mega Drive. Oh, I'm just trying to find my freaking buttons here. Oh, see that I can do some moves out of this controller. It will hurt my thumb like crazy after like 5 minutes, but next up let's try some Sonic Advance. And what I like about it, that the image is of course stretched because we do have like a big screen over here. But there is no issue with the emulation. Good audio, no weird sound effects, no delay in the sound effects. And because of the aspect ratio, we do have like 2 black bars, but don't have like this stretch image. This Ampown or Ampown stick, yeah, I must say that first of all, they are using cheap SD cards. And the main problem with these things are they can get corrupted out of nothing. So it's always recommended to get a backup. But inside we will find specifications that are not like really exciting. I was really surprised to see that we're actually going to get a passive cooling on this piece of electronic, because most of the time they're just slapping a PCB in here and not doing anything with it. I was surprised when removing the thermal pad and the cooling element. We do have an AM Logic S95X3. That is a chipset that we have seen in previous boxes, but I don't know what's going on with this. I cannot see how many megahertz is running, but the overall performance is way worse than your typical S95X3. Or it can also be an emulator or software issue. Conclusion is simple. The stick itself is absolutely a very bad combination of software layout, very limited when it comes to emulators, and a lot of bad performance when it comes to the typical system like N64, PlayStation Portable.